This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog with another weekly baseball observation. The Cubs are continuing to use Hayward as the center fielder and the leadoff hitter, and continue to bat Nick Castellanos second. And when Rizzo having an issue with his back, Ian Happ is getting at bats at first base and not center field. It would be more interesting to see Kyle Schwarber or even Nicky Castellanos get at bats at first base with Rizzo nursing an injury and play someone athletic like Almora or Happ in the outfield, or even when they play Tony Kemp in the outfield. Now the Nationals are still batting Adam Eaton second, but when his best value is the leadoff hitter. The Orioles somehow continue to go, we're going to play Trey Mancini in right field a couple days a week. We'll bat him second a couple days a week, even if he's playing first base, and we'll play Tanner in center field. They have enough outfielders on their roster. They don't need to play infielders in the outfield or play Tanner out of position. Now at the same time, the Marlins are playing Starlin Castro at third base, and obviously with Brian Anderson's season done, the only obvious answer to play at third base is the birdie guy, and that's pretty much it. So maybe that's the only reason they're playing Castro at third base, because they're giving at bats to Diaz at second base instead of even playing Birdie as shortstop. They did play Castro once as shortstop. I think what they should be doing is playing Castro as shortstop, which is what they should have been doing the last couple of years, to increase his trade value as a middle infielder, because he never was bad defensively. He just wasn't Ozzie Smith territory. He was good enough. Now the Phillies, with Roman Quinn injured again, Rhys Hoskins has been the guy batting leadoff for second, and Harper batting leadoff sometimes. Record Dickerson. McCutcheon was there this year. Odubel Herrera has done it. Cesar Hernandez has done it. And even Gene Segura, who has been a successful leadoff hitter on multiple teams, they're deciding that let's go with sluggers at the beginning of the lineup and batting Segura cleanup. No, it's not a good idea. Now, the Braves are continuing to bat Acuna leadoff, which is fine if Ciarte is injured, but even when he was healthy, they weren't even doing that, and they're still playing him in center field, even though they have Rafael Ortega and Billy Hamilton on the roster. I know that having Matt Joyce and having Adam Duvall and Charlie Culberson, you want to put them in corner spots because they're not center fielders, and Acuna's better there. But I've seen Acuna make great plays in all three spots. But he's best as a corner guy because you have a Gold Glove winner in Ciarte, and Billy Hamilton's a Gold Glove finalist. It's just, you need to figure out what's best for Acuna. You're just moving him all over the outfield. At least they're not moving all over the lineup, when he should be batting the middle lineup. Indians are still batting Lindor leading off when he's best batting second or third, because they got all these outfielders that can bat leadoff. And then you got the Royals batting Soler second. Soler is on the way to 40 home runs. Batting him second, if the guy, the leadoff hitter, doesn't get on base, that's just a bunch of solo shots. Dozier playing right field again. Come on. You have enough outfielders on your roster too. You don't have to do that. And the Angels are batting Trout second, and Simmons in middle lineup, and playing Theus at third base when he's not a third baseman, he's a first baseman. And then Trevor Cahill's still pitching out of the bullpen when they don't have enough starters. The Twins are still playing Arias, his name, and Mario Gonzalez, and even Andrianza, all three of these middle infielders in the outfield, instead of just letting Rosario, Kepler, and Cave play all the time. And then they're also playing Sanoa at third base on days they're playing non-first baseman. Like, if you're not playing Crone at first base, then that's when Sanoa should be playing first base. It should not be Mario Gonzalez or Andrianza whatsoever. And then the Dodgers stopped playing Russell Martin at third base, and they're also doing this pitching thing with him, fine. But third base is not where he belongs. You have enough infielders on the roster, and you also have enough outfielders on your roster that you don't need to be playing both Kiki Hernandez and Chris Taylor in the outfield at the same time with Beatty, who's a first baseman. Kiki Hernandez, Chris Taylor's best value is for them to play second base, or Jed Jerko at second base, or even at third base or shortstop. That's the thing. They have enough infielders on this roster that they've got to let the outfielders actually play the outfield. And then the Yankees are still batting DJ LeMahieu lead off in just second when they don't have a lot of thump in the middle lineup. So Judge should be batting the middle lineup. DJ LeMahieu should be batting second. They're also playing Maben in left field or right field when he's best suited to play center field. And, of course, LeMahieu's playing first base because Luke Voigt's been injured. But now with Giovanni Urshela hurt, he could at least play third base where he can offer better defensive support there. And the Mariners are playing Dylan Moore in the outfield and this rookie guy Lopes in the outfield. When they have Keon Broxton and they have Malik Smith, and they also called up a young rookie outfielder as well. They got enough outfielders. They also should not be DHing Omar Narvaez when they have Dan Vogelbach or Austin Nola, who's a catcher without a position right now. And using Whistler again as openers, and then they're pitching Wade LeBlanc and Tommy Malone out of the bullpen like the Rays do. They have Marco Gonzalez, Tommy Malone, Wade LeBlanc and Felix Hernandez at least. They got at least 4 starters. They don't need to be doing this. And Matt Whistler, the starting pitcher, Bass is the pitcher. They got enough guys in their team that they could start 5 innings. It won't kill them. They're not without, starting pitchers. And then the Dodgers, as I said earlier, I've seen Jed Jerko and Max Muncy and Kiki Hernandez and Chris Taylor all play out of position. Like Jed Jerko should be playing second base if Muncy's in there. So should Kiki Hernandez and Chris Taylor. They also were batting their sluggers. Like they like to bat Max Muncy second, and they like to bat Jack Peterson leadoff. Jack Peterson was demoted to the bench or to the minor league because his inconsistency hitting, especially in the leadoff spot. The reason why I have the Dodgers listed twice is because they keep doing things as well that just don't make any sense. Yeah, they're the best team in the National League, but things are going to come back to haunt them in the playoffs, especially defensively. Now, the A's are continuing to play Mark Canha in center field, despite Robbie Grossman having more career innings in center field, Tim Piscotty having more career innings in center field, and Jurickson Profar has a bunch of innings in the outfield in general, being a utility player, but they got rid of Nick Martini. They called up another player, and his natural position is first base. So they call up a new guy to play the left field, but he's a first baseman. They're playing Chad Pinder in the outfield, and he's a second baseman. So they want to just start a whole entire outfield of infielders as well, which is really stupid. And then the Jays, again, are doing similar things to the Mariners. They're trying to copy the Rays, doing openers. But they have Zach Godley, and they just got Clay Buchholz back. They have a bunch of guys in their bullpen who started major league games and gone 5 or 6 innings. They don't need to have openers. And with all of the position players they've gotten in trades in the last couple of years, they have enough outfielders and center fielders not to play Randall Grichuk in center field. The Rays, again, Glasnow's injured, Blake Snell's injured, and they traded Jacob Faria. You would think that Jalen Beeks would get an opportunity to start with Charlie Morton being the only starter left. They're not doing that. And then if Kiermaier's injured again like he was before, it's bad roster construction if Guillermo Hereda's not on the active roster because he's a center fielder. Tommy Pham played center field in St. Louis, and Austin Meadows played center field also. There should be no reason to take Avi Garcia, who when you enter the season as your DH, to be playing in the outfield, especially center field. Maybe right field, maybe left field, but you have enough people on your roster to play center field. Avi Garcia should not be playing center field. Because I don't think the Tigers or White Sox, when they had him, were like, yeah, he's going to be an everyday center fielder. No. And now the Reds, I know that Kirk Casale and Tucker Barnhart are healthy, but Kyle Farmer has no business playing second base. He's a catcher, maybe third base, maybe first base, but that's it. And the Tigers have a roster full of utility players. Now, I know Ken Hilario's injured, and I know that, Nico Kudrum's injured. Miguel Cabrera is a minor injury that doesn't allow him to play the field. But Jody Mercer's been a starting shortstop in this league for a while. It's kind of embarrassing to him to say, yeah, you're going to throw your first base, when your whole entire roster is pretty much full of backups. Jacoby Jones is another starter. He's injured. So pretty much, outside of the rookie right fielder they called up, they have a lineup full of backups. Jonathan Hicks, the backup catcher, who sometimes was a third-string catcher, he should be playing first base. Mercer should be getting an opportunity to play shortstop, as least you can do, when everybody else in your lineup is a backup. Now the Padres, they finally have been batting Manuel Margot leadoff. Yay! No more weird combinations of Mejia batting leadoff, no combinations of Kinsler batting leadoff, or anybody else. But again, they got to throw Will Myers back at third base. Oh, we'll throw Will Myers center fielder. No. You traded Framil Reyes so that you can play Will Myers in the corner spot and not have to play him in center field. But they're playing another young guy, Naylor, like they did with Reyes, over Myers in the corner outfield spots and play him at third base when they have Greg Garcia on the roster and they have all these infielders up. And then the Astros has Aledmys Diaz, he's back and he's healthy. So you would think that the backup infielder on that roster, who's a natural-born shortstop who made the All-Star team as a shortstop, would be playing shortstop. But one game this week, they started Bregman as shortstop. That's one thing to do when Diaz, Correa, and Altuve, they're all injured, and you got to play Bregman as short, and you got to play Yuli at third base. Speaking of Yuli, if you want to give Michael Brantley a day off in the field and DH him, the number one guy that should play in the outfield right now is Jake Marisnick, so you can play center field and move Springer and Reddick to corner, which is better for you guys defensively. There's no need to play Jordan Alvarez in the outfield. Play him at first base. Give Yuli the day off. Jordan Alvarez last night made some bad plays in the outfield because he's not an outfielder. He's a first baseman. There's no need to play him in the outfield when you have 4 outfielders on your roster. And then the White Sox, We have John Jay, Cordell, and Eden on the roster, but I've seen Ryan Goins playing right field. It's one thing to throw a backup utility infielder like Ryan Goins in left field like a couple of times a season, but not right field because our utility infielder, Leury Garcia, plays enough right field and center field this season that he should be the only infielder playing the right field. Now, those are the weekly baseball observations for On the Radar Entertainment Blog. I'm Radar. I'll see you next week for another edition of Weekly Baseball Observations.